Alrighty, welcome back everyone. So it is 1 in the morning for me. I was just in bed getting ready to sleep, but I looked at Twitter, my phone was blowing up, and apparently Dokkan just went crazy because they just announced 2 very anticipated, very hype EZAs that we can look forward to in the game. Of course, you guys have probably seen Twitter by the time this vid comes out. We just got the EZAs announced for Vegeta and Trunks and Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So today, we're going to go ahead and go through the EZAs, see what these characters can now do. Of course, we'll go ahead and talk about what sort of hidden potential builds you probably want to use on these characters based off their EZA kits. And also, we got some information on some upcoming content, so we will go ahead and talk about what we can look forward to seeing soon as well. But yeah, this is just so awesome. I am upset that it's in 1 in the morning because I am a bit tired, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the vid. If you do, show your support, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts. Pardon me for being a bit quiet because it is 1 in the morning, so I'm trying not to wake my family. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, let's just go ahead and just check out the EZAs. We'll start with the Vegeta and Trunks one. I did pull it up right here. I gotta say, I am so happy that they did this because after part 1 went through and part 2 with GDC for GT and everything, I thought, and I think a lot of people thought, that they just forgot this character, that they were just not going to do this character until maybe like 11th anniversary. But I made a whole vid talking about it. Slot 1 was still a pretty serious issue for the Future Saga category because you either needed the new units or you were basically relying on dodge, and that was not a great situation to be in. But now we have a character here with Vegeta and Trunks who initially was designed to be a slot 1 character, and not just a slot 1 character, but a tanking character, not dodging, but tanking the hits. So hopefully their EZA is going to be really good right here. Let's go ahead and just kind of see what we got going on. So with the leader skill, Bond, Parent and Child, Future Saga categories, Ki +3, HP attack and defense 170%, plus additional Ki +1 and 30% to stats for characters also in Battle of Fate. So not a crazy upgrade to their leader skill right there, but still, I mean, it's pretty nice. I mean, you know, the nice stats, the categories are good. Bond, Parent and Child is really nice. Future Saga, great to have another lead for that, of course. Battle of Fate for the extra buff is cool. A lot of characters there, so I have no problems about that. Passive skill. So activates the intro when there's another Bond, Parent and Child category ally on the team when doing the intro. For 5 turns, Ki +7 and defense +100%. And also for 3 turns, it looks like damage reduction rate increases by 10% and randomly changes key spheres of a certain type other than int orbs to rainbow key spheres. So a bit of a temporary rainbow orb changer and a nice bit of a buff to the defense and everything. So pretty nice overall. I will say it does suck that this is temporary, but at the same time, you know, this is an intro. That's how most intros work. So it is what it is. Okay, basic effects. So let's see here. So 200% to stats, Ki +2, guards all attacks. Nice. That's in general. So slot 1, slot 2, and slot 3. 20% to damage reduction. Launch an additional has a great chance to become a super. So that's a 70% chance right there. When attacking with 18 or more Ki, launch an additional guaranteed super when activating the active or when attacking with 24 Ki. Bond and Parent and Child category allies defense plus 30% support right there just for getting max Ki. For every attack received or evaded, Ki +2 up to 10, attack plus 20% up to 100%, and defense plus 50% up to 150%. Also, boosting the crit chance by 10% up to 50%. As the slot 1 unit, first attacker in turn, so slot 1, attack and defense plus 200%, damage reduction rate increases by 30%. So wow, this character, he fits the bill. For me, I gotta be honest, what I'm seeing on paper here, he fits the bill of what I was hoping for with his EZA. We still aren't done. We still have to look at like the rest of his kit because there is like the super attack effects. So with these super attack effects, the 12 Ki right here, melee super, greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn, cause colossal damage. With the 18 Ki, raises attack and defense, cause mega colossal damage to the enemy, it looks like. And also, whoa. Raise allies' attack and defense by 5% in battle? That's actually incredibly... That's stupid. That's actually insane. I don't know if I don't think they had that before. Wait, okay, let me check. Hold on. Sorry, guys. This is not how I planned to do this, but let me just double check the unit here. So this was beforehand. Beforehand, they could raise attack and defense. The difference is now they're able to support allies with permanent stat buffs for the rest of the fight. Any long form content, this character is probably going to be a go-to now, because even if this character is going to stack, but also they're going to help your other allies stack as well. That is insanely strong for such a small part of the kit. Holy crap, that is insane. Okay, let's just talk about this character just to kind of do our brief overview. So they fit the bill. They did what they were supposed to do. This character was initially a slot 1 character. They pretty much focused on that to its entirety. When we go back to the initial count design, this character, you know, slot 1, he was going to have the guard and everything, just stats. They gave him damage reduction. 50% damage reduction with guard is pretty good for a lot of situations. There are still certain bosses that can break through that, provided you don't have the stats. But when we look at Vegeta and Trunks, 200% is the stats right there. You know, they're boosting defense by 30% with this right here. That should include themselves. So that's a nice kind of boost right there. I believe that may be multiplicative. I'm not great with the math. Halvard is really good with that sort of stuff. So, you know, respect to him, of course. But besides that, you still have 150% to the defense right here. So that's 350 right there. For a few turns, you're going to have 100% boost right there, plus 10%. So that's technically 60% damage reduction for the first 3 turns, plus guard. I mean, it's really good. And I almost forgot, 350 plus the extra 200%. So that's what, 550% to the defense, you know, like 400% or 500% to the attack right there. Really powerful stuff. Honestly, you can probably use this character in slot 2 and slot 3, but this character should be your slot 1 because just the 50% damage reduction, the stats, he's good. Vegeta and Trunks, they are good. Like, built-in crit, built-in defensive boosts, attack boosts, key boosts for an LR, 10 key out of 24 that you need. That's really good, of course. You know, when you put them in a team, you know, key plus, it's usually you're talking about like key plus 3 up to key plus 4 in certain comps, you know, so double leads and stuff. You know, 6 to 8 key from the leads plus 10 right there. That's 16 to 18 out of the 24. So with the leader skills and with this fully built up, you could basically meet this, you know, potentially really easy. So there is so much going on here. And I also forgot key plus 2 right there. So key should not be an issue for this character. Attack boosting is nice, of course. Defensive boosting is so awesome. I love this character. I love this character. I do not have him, but I am going to coin this character. I wasn't sure if I was going to until the EZA got announced. Here we go, though. It's right there. It's right in front of us. It's beautiful. It's sexy. It's fantastic. It's honestly even better than I could have envisioned because yes, he's slot 1 capable, which is what I was expecting and like hoping for. But beyond that, having this ability right here to give the support is so powerful. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to go for the crazy for this character. If you guys don't have him, definitely consider going for this character because he fits onto some really good categories. I mean, when we look at Vegeta and Trunks, you know, obviously they're going to miss out on some of the really good categories like, you know, fused fighters, obviously, you know, pure Saiyans because you got Trunks in there. Hybrid Saiyans you're missing out on too because Vegeta is there, so that's kind of like a bit of an issue. But still, you got superheroes, Bond Master and Disciple, Vegeta's family, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Battle of Fate, Joint Forces, Bond Parent and Child. So some really good categories there for sure. I think the one that's really kind of standing out to me probably is Future Saga. Future Saga's obviously got some really great leads, some really great characters. This is just icing on the cake and much needed icing. You know, I made a separate vid talking about how the slot 1 issues are there with Future Saga. This is rectifying that because without Vegeta and Trunks, you're forced to either have the new units for part 1 of the GDC to have like consistent good slot 1 characters, or you need to rely on like Super Easy Vegito Blue or stuff to have like dodge or die kind of systems. But with Vegeta and Trunks, you have a unit who can tank, who is pretty much accessible to every single player, like if you have the coins and everything. So it's really awesome stuff. I don't think they updated the active for him, but with the active, you know, massively raise attack temporarily, cause ultimate damage. Within the turn, all attacks become crits, so that should be for every single character. And then raise all allies' defense by 20% for 1 turn. So nice bit of support right there. Can be activated when all allies are Future Saga in the same turn, starting from 3rd turn of the battle, or if HP is 50% or less, starting from turn 5. So not too difficult in terms of the conditions. But yeah, that is a very powerful kit. Honestly, man, I love it. I didn't even know it was going to be that crazy, but this is just so amazing. Okay. I did kind of yap a bit longer there than I meant to, but I mean, I'm a bit tired, so my brain is kind of mush. But okay, now let's go ahead and look at Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. You can't spell Gogeta without GOAT. I hope they took that saying to heart when they made this. Okay, so leader skill, Giant Power or Shadow Dragon Saga, Key plus 3, HP attack and defense 170%. Nice. Giant Power, there obviously is a much better lead with the AGL Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But Shadow Dragon Saga is nice to have a competent character, at least hopefully, who's leading the category. So I do appreciate that. With the passive skills, so Key plus 4, attack and defense 300%. Attacks are effective against all types, which is the typical Gogeta mechanic really. 40% damage reduction flat out for 1 turn from the character's entry, another 40% damage reduction increase, so that's 80% for the first turn. For every attack received or evaded, boosting the crit chance by 25% up to 100%. As the second or third slot character in a turn, 250% to stats, and launch an additional guaranteed super. When receiving a super, just in general, Great Chance, which is a 70% chance to nullify it and counter with tremendous power for 10 turns from the character's entry, and a High Chance, which is a 50% chance to nullify and counter from the 11th turn from the character's entry onwards. So basically, 10 turns from the character's entry, if turn 1 you get this Gogeta, turn 10 you're talking about like 5 rotations of Gogeta, assuming you keep him on rotation. If you float him off, you know, it's still like, you know, 10 turns, like you can, like it's easy to do the math, but still, like if I kept this Gogeta on slot 2, that's 5 rotations of Gogeta where he has this 70% chance to counter, and that's all he's really missing. Like that's the thing, is the only thing he loses from this whole like long form content type of situation is he loses partial chances to nullify and counter supers. The rest of his kit is permanent. There's no gimmicky conditions, just slot 2, slot 3, and that's it. He loses this 40% damage reduction, which does suck. You know, 40% without guard can be kind of frustrating, I would imagine. However, to counter that, we're talking about a character who has still 40% damage reduction and has 550% to stats. That is really strong, like really strong, and additional supers. So, you know, it's really awesome. I'm glad they have built-in crit. This guy's, I can't even describe how awesome he is. This is such a simple kit. There's like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little clauses, and it looks powerful. It looks so good. It looks short, sweet, to the point, but still exceptional. High quality. I really do like what I'm seeing here. Let's see. So the super attack effect. So with the EZA, massively raises attack and greatly raises defense for 4 turns, cause immense damage to the enemy. Yeah, Gogeta looks good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Gogeta, I don't know which I like more, because Vegeta and Trunks, I think I like Vegeta and Trunks more. Actually, I don't know. I say that and I still feel like I would enjoy Gogeta more. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of crazy, but still. So with Gogeta, let me talk about Gogeta first, finish this off, and then we'll kind of compare the two and talk about that. With Gogeta, being able to massively raise attack and greatly raise defense for 4 turns, that's obviously, you know, a several rotations worth, you know, 2 rotations. That's of course very helpful. You can actually float Gogeta off, and this will show up on the second time he shows up. So very powerful there. Obviously the boosts to his attack and defense, coupled with the stats and everything, plus the 40% damage reduction, odds are he should have no problems. In slot 2 or slot 3, yes, there are some fights that supers can occur, but then you have this, which should give him a chance to survive. Maybe he'll get cooked if this doesn't trigger, but I don't care. Like, even if he gets cooked once or twice, the fact of the matter is, overall, he's going to be very dominant. I mean, look at the passive, the name, the power to annihilate evil. This is, forget evil, this is annihilating everything. This is insane in terms of what can happen here. Let me go ahead and just go back to GT real quick, because I don't want to miss out on his active. I know this Gogeta has an active. It's not like an attack or anything. But let's see here. So with the active, attack and defense plus 40%, and all enemies attack and defense minus 40% for 1 turn can be done after the character receives an attack 4 or more times in battle once only. So just like a 1-turn nuking kind of turn, if you will, boosting the stats. Honestly, I'm excited for both of these characters. I was really scared that we may not get the EZAs. Like, as time progressed, I was like, we need something to happen with Vegeta and Trunks. We need something to happen with Gogeta right here. We got both. And I might say right now, I'm going to make a separate vid. I plan to make a separate vid talking about it and like seeing what the community has to say. I think the GDC is overall the best celebration of the entire year, including the 10th anniversary. Overall, collectively, mano a mano comparison wise, I think the GDC is better. Now, there are certain things that 10th anniversary did better, but I think when I'm looking, call it recency bias if you want, I will definitely say it's recency bias. Looking at these EZAs, the quality of the EZAs overall, you know, like, there were some flaws. You know, Super EZA, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is definitely not a fan. I'm not a fan of him, but this is really good. Gogeta looks really good. Vegeta and Trunks look really good. When we talk about both of them, right, I guess I really didn't talk about their builds. So going back to Vegeta and Trunks, right, so the thing about them is, I would say, given that they have built-in crit, you can throw in a touch of crit, but really prioritize, in my opinion, dodge and additional. More so additional if you want than dodge, but I would say prioritize those two. To be fair, in slot 1, they don't need dodge necessarily as much because they're built to tank, but having dodge helps in case certain things go sideways. There are certain bad situations. You never know when dodge can save you. So dodge is always, very good. Obviously, being an int character, they have built-in dodge as well, so that's really helpful. But additional, I think, is also really good because if nothing else, it does mean they can greatly raise attack and defense for one turn, which can be very helpful for just the turn itself in terms of surviving. So that's going to be my recommendation for them. For Gogeta, and we may get skill orbs for them as well. For Gogeta, my recommendation is the same thing, but even more so. Do not spend a single amount on crit. Why? Because he basically has built-in crit to his kit. So you do need to take 4 attacks or receive or dodge 4 attacks, but once you get that done, first of all, the active will be available, but also you'll get this guaranteed crit as well. So there's no reason to have crit in his hit potential build. Go for additional, go for dodge. I would say with Gogeta, it seems counterintuitive maybe perhaps, but really I would say lean towards the dodge more so than the additional. And the reason why is because, yes, the additionals will make him do a lot more to stats and everything, and obviously he's a character built on stats with a touch of damage reduction, but really similar to Vegeta and Trunks, but even more so I'd say with Gogeta, on the outside chance that just bosses do crazy damage and stats aren't enough, dodge could be so helpful for Gogeta. Like even more so than Vegeta and Trunks. So that's just my kind of thought process on it. To be fair, both these characters may not need it because of just the raw stats and the raw tank ability that they possess, but it's going to be a fun time. I can't wait for both these characters, man. I mean, listen, we go back to okay, when we look at this Gogeta, right? He's on Giant Ape Power, Fusion, Shadow Dragon Saga, a lot of different categories. The one I'm eyeing the most is GT Heroes, because GT Heroes could very well become, GT Heroes is one of the best categories. Fused Fighters, I think, is still taking the best category by far because of just all the other characters who fit into it. But do we understand that GT Heroes now, if we look at the overall team, you got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, in my opinion, the #1 unit in the game, and a lot of people say the same thing. You got the physical Super Saiyan 4s, a top level unit, probably top 5 still just because of how they work with GT. You have Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You have STR Pan, who is actually very strong. I wish I had Pan, but because she's just great support. Even besides them, you're talking about cool characters like these two, of course, with the Golden Week units, limited time buffs right now with the Super Saiyan 4s from the 4th anniversary, the Super EZAs from the 2nd anniversary, if I can find them right there, the EZA for Pan and Trunks, who are both, I think they're the best EZAs of the GT bunch, just the support they give and everything. GT Heroes is in such a beautiful spot. I did not think it would be this good at the beginning of this year, but with the 10th anniversary, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, it was the beginning, and now I feel like we may not be done with this year, but I feel like we've reached the end, and boy is it beautiful, because we still have the 8th anniversary GT duo set to get an EZA in the 11th anniversary, and so far GT Heroes is just looking so sexy. So, I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to continue the GT supremacy. This is amazing, and I forgot about this. Next year, technically, Tanabata Super Saiyan 4 Goku should be available for an EZA, and obviously he's a slot 1 character himself. This is going to be very fun. I can't wait for what the rest of this year has to offer, for what the rest of 2026 has to offer. This is awesome. Future Saga, again, I've been really happy with the what the buffs have been for Future Saga, but the main thing I've had a criticism was we needed a slot 1. We have it. We have a slot 1 who makes the rest of his team better. What more can I ask for? This is it. This is perfect. This is the way to end. We're at the end of July. This is the perfect way to end the month. This is so beautiful. But yeah, I mean, it's just great. Okay, before we wrap up the vid, let's go ahead and just talk about the information on the upcoming content, and then we'll wrap it up, and I will try to go to get some sleep. But with the new content, so obviously you see right here, see through it all Gogeta's clones. So we have to see through his clones to get a support memory. So we can get support memory from this new challenge event right here. Getting Gogeta's clones is pretty funny. I know a lot of people were saying we should get free-to-play Gogeta clones. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, but still, facing off the clones is pretty funny. We got the special ultimate choice battle right here that the players were doing surveys for. So basically, I forget what the survey results came out to be, but basically it should be, taking it, if I remember correctly, the survey results were for a fight that has multiple phases, that doesn't want items to succeed, and that basically has missions wanting you to bring a full team of different typings as opposed to specific typing options. So there's a bunch of different stuff there. We'll see what the fight has to offer. Hopefully it's going to be fun, and there's a unique title and stuff. I hope it's going to be fun, because I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. It should be fun. We got a new stage for the Birth of the Shadow Dragons challenge, which I don't know what this is going to be like offering. My expectation, based off what this is, we probably are going to be getting a boss rush. We're probably going to get like a boss rush with updated stats, with all these different characters, with their gimmicks, with what they have to offer, you know, all this different stuff. I think that's going to be what we're going to be seeing, but it's going to be pretty interesting. Of course, we got a support memory, a unique title, burst mode, so that's going to be awesome. Update to the Baba Shop for global tickets. I believe these are going to be the final tickets that we need for like the global tickets for the summons. So yeah, I mean, this is great. I don't know when we're going to be getting the EZAs, but I can't wait any longer. I need them to drop tomorrow. I need them to happen like right now. I need them to happen in the hour. I can't wait. I'm going to be sleeping. I'm going to be dreaming about Gogeta. I'm going to be dreaming about Vegeta and Trunks and their greatness. I'm going to be seeing in my mind like 20 million stats. It's going to be great. I can't wait for this. But anyways, with that all being said, now we're going to go ahead and wrap up the vid. Again, let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think about the EZAs? What do you guys think about the new content we got looking forward? What do you guys think about GDC? Do you think it is, in fact, the best celebration of the entire year of Dokkan? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed the vid, again, show your support, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay blessed, have a great night because I'm going to try to get some sleep, and I will see you all in the next one.